Well, this week's community conversation centers around the topic of voting. Yesterday, I got to sit down with Buchanan County Clerk Mary Baack-Garvey, and here's that conversation. And I'm privileged to be here with Mary Baack-Garvey, the Buchanan County Clerk, and she has been at this job for about 12 years.
Yep.
What are some of the biggest challenges you've faced in this whole process of making sure elections run smoothly?
Well, I think the biggest one I've ever witnessed is the COVID. That was a new one, a new ball thrown at us that we handled just fine. We made sure all the polling places were equipped with, masks, rubber gloves, hand sanitizer, spray to spray down, reusable pens, just all that just to keep, our voters safe. So it took a lot of planning, but we got through it, and we still use some of those products at the polling places right now, just for safety.
Just for safety. Yeah. Well, what drew you to this? You ran in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of drew you to this position, and what's been a rewarding part of the position for you?
Well, I was elected by the former clerk, Pat Conway, back in 2000.
Okay.
And so I had, quite 10 years under my belt of working in the elections and in the office, and so I had some background, and I figured, heck, why not? Let's try it. Let's try this. So I did.
Good. That's good. And you've served ever since.
Yeah. Yeah.
This would be your, did you say third?
I'm in my third term
wow.
now.
In the middle of your third term.
I'll start my fourth term next year because I'm unopposed.
That's right. Congratulations on that, too, by the way. Now, there has been talk in Jefferson City about some new legislation that would require voter ID, those are the two big things, and no electronic voting machines. If that were to pass, and we don't know if it will or not, but what kind of effect would that have in Buchanan County, if any?
We'll handle it. I mean, we had photo ID there for a couple years, and we helped the people get, IDs if they needed them. It was a handful of people that needed them.
Sure.
9 out of 10 times when people vote, they do use their photo ID.
Okay.
So we'll handle it if it comes back at us again, and we'll get the signage out there to let people know, yes, you do need to bring photo ID, and we'll get it done.
Wow, that's great. Well, it's good to know that you're kind of ready,
oh, yeah.
just in case.
We're prepared.
Now, right now, what are some of the biggest challenges in regard to voter registration and just the polling place flowing smoothly? What are the two challenges you saw even in the last couple of years?
Actually, voter registration's gotten much more simple.
Okay.
We have an online process,
Sure.
and now the Department of Motor Vehicle is connected to our online portal.
Sure.
So anytime anybody gets their driver's license, we get their registrations the very next day.
Oh, very good.
So it's actually a much smoother process for us.
Oh, very good. Good. Now, talk about voter turnout. I remember you saying for this last election, one of your goals was something around 25 or 30%. I think it was turned out to be about 19.2% or something like that. And nothing you can do about that. But what is an ideal voter turnout, and what can people do to kind of increase that turnout?
You just got to get them out there. I really wish on local level elections people would show up to vote.
Sure.
These are the people that impact you first.
Right.
Your local people, your mayor, your city council people. That's who they need to vote for. But for some reason, I just can't get it past the 25% turnout.
Wow. And what is the average turnout? Let's say for the upcoming primaries.
August will probably hit about 30 or 40.
Okay.
Depends
so those are
on
going to be
what's on the ballot. If there's some major issue that people are interested in, or a very tight race, that usually brings out the turnout.
So that could be twice as high as this local election. Yeah.
And then come November, probably triple.
Oh, wow. So now how do you and your staff help ensure accuracy? There's always discussion about making sure every vote counts, making sure there's accuracy. What are the steps that you guys take? Just give every single one if you don't want, but some steps that you guys take to ensure voter accuracy.
We have, by statute, a bipartisan team that comes in, and we will do a public test of the equipment that will be used on election day, and they will run test ballots through each machine to make sure they're running properly, and they sign off the paperwork to say, yes, we are ready for election day, and we get the machines out.
Well, talk about your staff a little bit. What are you excited about in regard to your staff? You say you've had some longevity in the people, in regard to the people who work with you.
Yeah,
what difference does that make?
We're just a really good, close-knit team. We work together well. If there's a question out there, we ask each other. We figure it out together. Sure. We work really well as a team.
That's great. And how long what's the average of folks who?
One has been there 21 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Another's been about 8 or 9.
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah, we're clicking.
What are your hopes for, you mentioned you're expecting a higher turnout in August, and then of course November elections get much higher. What are your expectations for the next, for your next term? What are you hoping to see? Maybe now that COVID is done, what are some things you think will smooth out after
Yeah, let's
COVID?
hope that's done.
I hope so. I mean, we hope it's done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Really, I just want to keep the flow of the equipment, accurate, and the integrity of the equipment. Our electronic poll books are a wonderful feature that we have that speeds the process up on election day. So we're just going to keep pounding away at those, and just keep the election smooth in Buchanan County.
That's great. Well,
Yes.
Mary Baack-Garvey, it's been wonderful to have you with us on Community Conversation this week. We'll have another special guest next week as well. Right now, though, for News Press Now and Community Conversation, I'm Charles Christian.